Now the remains are just a playground for visitors. During winter, a big part of these romantic ruins are covered with snow, but you can still stroll around and imagine what it must have been like in the past. But just be careful with every step you make. From Latvia, my map will take me to another Baltic border, which is just a few miles away. Estonia is checked, Latvia is checked. So what is left? In northern Lithuania, the Hill of the Crosses has become a symbol of peaceful resistance for the locals here since the 14th century. The first seed of defiance against foreign invaders was planted on this unremarkable hill in Siauliai. More crosses were erected as soon as the Royal Russian forces invaded this countryside in the early 19th century. Many perished and countless went missing without a trace. One cross for one missing soul, and then another. Communism came in the 1940s. The Soviet Union forced their way into the countryside. Those who resisted vanished, and those who vanished were given the honor of having their own crosses planted on the hill by their loved ones. The Soviet's military forces tried leveling off the ground twice, yet people kept coming back to plant more crosses for their loved ones. What used to be an unremarkable hill is now a pilgrimage hill, teeming with more than 200,000 crosses and other religious icons along its paths. It has become a sacred ground for those who look for peace and hope from across the globe. Just like Latvia and Estonia, its sister Baltic state Lithuania has a number of medieval castles along the way. One of them is the Trakai Island Castle.
This is like a photo camera or?
It's actually video camera. Well, you can use it.
This majestic and ethereal cultural icon is already more than 7 centuries old. It was one of the main centers of the Grand Duchy of Lithuania in the 15th century, when Poland and Lithuania decided to join forces as a Commonwealth country. Inside historical buildings are medieval relics found during its reconstruction.
This is where the Duke used to live, and maybe the most important item is this painting of Žalgiris battle when we defeated the Crusaders forever. It's only replica. The original one is in Poland, in National Museum of Poland in Warsaw.
But what makes this place enchanting is its landscape, located in the middle of a calm lake and surrounded by islets with a thinly dispersed collection of trees. "20 kilometers away is the country's capital, Vilnius. Vilnius, just like the other capitals of the other Baltic states, is compact and walkable. There are heavy German, Polish, and Russian influences on their culture, history, and architecture. The old town is a UNESCO heritage site. Another group of people that gave the city an everlasting cultural influence are the Jews. Things changed when the Holocaust reached the city of Vilnius. An estimated 200,000 Jewish people were murdered by the Lithuanian Nazi collaborators and German Nazi units. This is the path to one of the former Jewish ghettos in Vilnius. Lithuania's road to independence is violent and bloody. Defiance against the two big European empires back then, the Russians and the Germans. But those struggles are also deep pockets of creativity. The city never stopped reinventing itself. At a turn, it can be quirky and fun, even during this gloomy wall. This wall in the old city has become wall of art for those who want to share their weird but fun masterpieces. They may have a brutal past, but they are now in control of their present. It is no wonder that Lithuanians are confident in embracing their future. Vilnius during nightfall is a photographer's delight. I ended my day in Vilnius with this, a reminder of how I started my trip in Lithuania, a country deeply religious, whose defiance against the invaders is symbolized by the cross, and whose fate is pinned on the good news of the birth of the Savior.